everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Strike Noise, your mom's first favorite of all time weekly baseball history podcast. My name is Jeff. I'm one half of the show. Joining us, per usual, from the Ray Quinones studio up in Seattle, it is none other than Mark A. Johnston. Mark, how is the Quinones studio treating you?
As we like to sing, Ray, Ray, Ray.
That was the cheer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, things are good. It's nice and wet and rainy here, and my night at the track has been canceled. I got nothing better to do than sit and chat with you for the next 7-8 hours.
Let's bet on whether this is a good show or not. Currently, the smart money is on no, but that's not what you want to say when you're introducing a podcast. And frankly, it's just for comedic effect because we got a lot of stuff today, and I think we're excited to talk about it. So I'm gonna take the it's gonna be a good show bet.
Okay, I'll take the 0-0.
Oh, okay, so you're betting on it being a neutral show.
That's right.
This is show 296. We are getting so close to 300. I think I've already put it out there, but 300. We've got a guest lined up. It's gonna be our Seinfeld show. We've got a writer that if you're on social media, you probably know who he is. He writes about baseball all the time. The baseball and wax pack old baseball cards. And he's written several articles regarding Seinfeld and baseball. I'm excited for it. I'll just put it that way. But that's coming up in just a couple of weeks because this is 296. But Mark, let's go ahead and get into our BP segment. I want to make sure we're warmed up here. I actually watched a Yankees game last weekend.
Did you?
I did, and I enjoyed it because it was the game. They had Old Timers game at Yankee Stadium, the first one in several years. They had it, and they were celebrating the 2000. Yeah, I think it was the 2000 Yankee team. It wasn't the 2005 because that was the White Sox. I think it was the 2000. And a lot of guys were there for the first time in this thing called the Old Timers game, which sounds pretty. I just assume that they're all like in crutches and wheelchair if you call it Old Timers game. A lot of guys were there. Johnny Damon was there. I'm not going to comment on his current physical appearance.
That's a good
unique.
idea.
I'm just going to say that. He's definitely not in playing shape, but this one was very sad. Do you remember back in 2012 when Mariano Rivera was still pitching? And in May, he was shagging fly balls during BP in the outfield in Kansas City, and he ruptured or he tore one of the two, his ACL in his knee, and was out for the season. This was his first Old Timers game. He was playing center field, and he did it again. He sustained an Achilles tendon injury this time.
Yeah,
but it was bad.
There's a reason we had you pitching, man.
I saw a video of this, and he's in center field, and he like breaks on a ball, and then he just falls to the ground, and he can't get up. And it's sad. I mean, he's a Yankee, yes, but he's one of those Yankees. I think even somebody like you, obviously you respect him, but I think you like him, right?
Yeah. No, I think Mariano Rivera is amazing.
Yeah. I don't think you can, even if you're like a diehard Red Sox fan, I don't think you like hate Mariano Rivera. You might not want to admit it and didn't like to see him on the diamond, but I don't think you hate him. But it was really interesting because they had all of these guys going through the radio and TV booths throughout the game. You know, to be honest, Roger Clemens was very entertaining in the booth, spilling stories. He said he was a fan of the pitch clock. He said he was a fan of a lot of the new rules that the boomers don't like, which is
interesting.
Very interesting that he would think that, but he did. Yeah, that was my one Yankee story for the day.
Okay.
Jen Pawol. We got to talk about Jen Pawol.
Yeah, absolutely.
Became the first woman to umpire in a major league game. And then she worked behind the plate a couple of days later. It's great to see. I remember Pam Postma is the name that I remember.
Yeah.
I think that was in the 80s, and there was, is she good enough? And then, no, just nothing. And that was in the 80s. That was 45 years ago. Ridiculous. Yeah. I did not see the game that she worked behind the plate, nor have I seen the ump scorecard for it. But I did see a replay of the first pitch of the game. Have you seen it?
Yes.
when she's back there. And first of all, it reminded me a lot of...
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!
Because that first pitch came and she was calling it a strike no matter where it was. And it was not a strike. It was like down and into a right-handed batter. It's like Enrico Palazzo's called third strike where he starts ringing him up before the catcher gets the ball. It was not a good call. From what I heard, she got very high marks throughout the rest of the game, but she was calling that regardless of where it was a strike.
Yeah, it seemed that way. But you know what, man? It's a combination of a million things. Who knows? I know I couldn't do a decent job back there. I'd be completely clueless.
Yeah, I mean, you have a hard enough time running the scoreboard. Now, if you had to actually call the ball,
and they're telling me if it's a ball or a strike, and I still struggle with it.
Yeah. Now, we should maybe mention that executive producer Mitch did have an umpire. It was not a major league umpire. It was a high school umpire, but tell somebody involved in production that when he was working the balls and strikes during a high school game, it was the worst job he'd ever seen done.
That's right.
That's why Mitch usually runs the play-by-play. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. Let's see. So have you seen the movie Basketball?
I have.
Yeah, it's 20 years old at this point. It's the guys that did South Park.
Yes.
When was the last time you saw it? I guess is a big question.
A long time ago.
Yeah, I remember I've seen it many times. It's a good movie. I like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, I think of their names. But I'm not going to lie, it has not aged well. I hadn't seen it for probably a decade, and I watched it the other day. It does not age well. There's things that I don't know that they would make those jokes today, but I was good to see that Bob Costas was able to fit this one into a schedule, unlike The Naked Gun. He was there. No Dr. Joyce Brothers, though, which is disappointing.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they did have some very interesting promotional nights when the league is formed.
Oh, yes.
They have dozen egg nights, which didn't end well when they didn't play well. And they had free range chicken night, which was an interesting one. You walk through the door, you get handed a free range chicken that was still alive.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah. And then there were some others that we're not going to mention on this podcast. But it's
probably a good idea.
Yeah, not so safe for work. But you can hear all about them on our other podcast about movies that have not aged well, our Aged Like Milk podcast, available only on America Online. That's where we make our money. Yeah. No, they just canceled that.
I know. That's why we put it on there.
Oh, so is America Online still around in some form?
I think you can still have an AOL.
Oh, my mom still has an AOL account. Yeah. At least an AOL email. Have you heard of Fernando Rodney? Have we ever talked about him?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. I've heard some rumors about Fernando.
Uh-oh, what?
I heard... What were you going to talk about?
I've got a story ready to go here that is an uplifting and good story. I want to know, have you heard something different?
No, it's nothing bad. I just heard he's still he's firing them in there.
That's what I'm talking about. Fernando Rodney hasn't pitched in the big leagues for almost 6 years. He is still out there throwing, firing those arrows. Now for the Hamilton Cardinals of the Inter-Country Baseball League in Southern Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
That's a mouthful right there. He's not getting the big checks like he used to. The salary in this league is room and board and a meal allowance. That's it. But he's fine with it. I mean, he's got enough money, I'm sure, anyway. But he's 48 years old now. The three-time All-Star has 327 saves in the majors and has now also become the most famous player the Hamilton Cardinals have ever seen, as well as the most popular. Before games at Bernie Arbo Memorial Stadium, there's usually a line in the outfield there, and he's just signing autographs, posing for pictures, doing the arrow thing for pictures, and he signs. He chats in English and Spanish. Some of the kids are wearing their hat crooked like he does. Very popular. He's a big draw. It is a weekend-only semi-pro league that's been around since 1919, so it's 106 years old. He's taking these bus rides that are like 2.5 hours, and he says he likes it because it reminds him of his early day in the minors. On the mound, he's effective-ish in a weekend-only semi-pro inter-country Southern Ontario League. He's got 6 saves. He's averaging 14, a little bit over 14 strikeouts per 9 innings, and his fastball's still in the low 90s. Rodney says he's aiming to pitch until he's 50 years old.
Wow.
So a couple more years. Yep. People clown on players like Rodney or Ricky that just stick around. And I don't blame them, man. They just want to play the game. I am paying to play right now.
I feel the same way, man. If you want to continue to play, more power to you. If you want to play at that level, because that's where you are right now, you having fun, play the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Good for you.
I wish somebody would have ever paid me to play, but I'm paying to play right now. And I'm barely older than Fernando Rodney. Last thing I want to get to before we go to our debuts, I've seen a lot of Pokemon cards in big league clubhouses recently. And it makes sense because people that really grew up with Pokemon, and I mean, it's still so huge, are now of age where they're Major League Baseball players. Matt Stram of the Phillies was showing off some of his cards. I know I saw somebody, it was another pitcher, I don't remember who, got like a real valuable Charizard card or something the other day. Like he was opening packs just on Instagram Live or something, and he got a big one. But Matt Stram is purchasing and investing in them. He's buying the high-end cards so that he can later sell them, or maybe he just wants them for himself. But he said when he was asked why he's investing in these versus like baseball cards, he says, quote, "Pikachu's not going to tear his ACL. Charizard's not going to get a DUI."
It's true.
Which he knows his teammates, I guess. They are all.
I guess so. And if Charizard did get a DUI, would they like sweep it under the rug?
Yeah, probably get it. I mean, everybody's going to get suspended for that, but you know, it's going to be one of those 5 gamers. And the Phillies are going with a 6-man starting rotation right now. So that would be about right. Yeah.
Just check TMZ. They'll know.
Yeah. They're up on that all the time. The Charizard DUI watch.
That's right.
All right, Mark, this show is set to debut on August 15th. Now, there are a butt ton, that is an official metric, at least on our show, of debuts on this day throughout baseball history. None of them particularly noteworthy, though. So I'm just going to name some more recent ones that I wanted to mention. First of all, fellow former Cougar Tom Niedenfuer made his debut today. Give up some home runs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. Also, if you want to find out more about that, there's a video, my latest video on YouTube. Highlights Tom Niedenfuer quite a bit. He gave up some jacks in the postseason. Some other guys, Andrew Jones made his debut today in 1996 and immediately made a splash in the World Series. The only other ones, let's see, Coco Crisp made his debut today. You can tell how like recent we're going here for these players. And I do want to mention that Lance Blankenship played his final game today in 1993. Lance, my boy. And Dave Dravecki did too in 1989. Former guest.
Show favorite.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and let the grounds crew come out and do their stuff. Mark, I have got a story today. Now, I want to first of all tell you a story of how I got this story. So I mention it all the time that I stream on Twitch and YouTube live 3 times a week. And so earlier this week on Wednesday, doing my stream, we were doing our daily walk-off. Starting 9 is my favorite. I think we were doing the grid. No, it was starting 9, and it was an older team, and I was struggling. And one of the catcher came up, and his last name was Phelps. And I had no idea. It did not help me at all. Can you name a catcher? And I will give you that I'll just tell you, played in the 30s. A catcher whose last name is Phelps. It's not Ken Phelps.
Not a clue.
Yeah, me either. Apparently, it is Ernest Gordon Phelps, who was nicknamed Babe. I'll tell you why here in a little bit. But the response from chat was surprised that I didn't know who Babe Phelps was. So I had to look him up. now we're doing a whole story on him. So this is the kind of influence you can have over the show if you come and watch my stream.
That's right.
Possibly you can shape the content of the show. But Ernest Phelps was born April 1908 in Odenton, Maryland. And like a lot of ball players in his era, he wound up with the nickname Babe before he was out of his teens. So like 15, 16, he was called that just like all the other babes. But why was he called Babe? Unlike all but one of the other babes, it wasn't because he could eat 60 hot dogs in an afternoon or hit balls into other zip codes. It was because in the early 1900s, calling someone Babe just meant they were a promising young player. This is like as common as chewing tobacco while you take your one bath a week at that point in history. He joins a long line of babes in baseball. Of course, Babe Ruth, Babe Adams, Babe Dahlgren, Babe Herman, Babe Pinelli, Babe Young, and even Babe Dietrichson Zacharias. That's a little bit different, but she's in there too. Phelps began his professional career in 1929 with the Hagerstown Hubs of the Class C Blue Ridge League. In 1930 and 31, he moved to the Reading Keystones of the International League, working his way up to the big leagues. Now, I just want to put this out there for the rest of this story. This week, if you are so inclined, I would suggest that every time I mention a Hall of Famer or somebody that we've done a whole story on in a previous episode, you take a shot. It'll be fun, I promise.
Definitely, at least for a while.
Yeah, realize that I've already mentioned Babe Ruth, Hall of Famer. We haven't really done a story on him yet. Babe Dahlgren, did a story on him. Babe Herman, did a story on him. So you've got 3 shots free if you ever want to take them. But, all right, moving on. He made his major league debut in September of 1931 with the Washington Senators at Griffith Stadium. That club included Hall of Famers Goose Goslin, Heine Manouche, Joe Cronin, and Sam Rice. Shots.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Phelps only appeared in 1 game before returning to the minors for the whole rest of the next year. Cup of coffee. 1931. Like probably a real cheap cup of coffee compared to now, but still a cup of coffee. 1933 and 34, Phelps is back with the Senators. He is a backup catcher behind Luke Sewell. Nope. No shots on that one. That was a test. Luke Sewell was a test. You can drink it anyway, but whatever. After the season, Phelps was traded to the Cubs. It was a short stint backing up 2-strike noise stalwart Gabby Hartnett. There we go. The next season, he joined the Brooklyn Dodgers, where he got his first chance to be a starter and became teammates with a certain Van Lingo Mungo and the always colorful Frenchie Bordegaray. I know. We did a whole story on him. I still don't know how to say his last name.
If it's Frenchie, you just have to kind of tail it off.
Well, we just call him Frenchie. But there's some more. There in that paragraph was 3 more shots. Are you having fun yet? Jeez. So, Babe, he was actually traded to Brooklyn. He liked Ebbets Field, and not just because it was a hitter's park or the fact that it was actually several blocks removed from the nearest trolley line, thusly removing the necessity to dodge anything. In his first 6 seasons there, he hit .316. The peak of his career came in 1936, where he hit .367, which is still the highest single-season batting average by a catcher with at least 300 plate appearances. What's the dumper hitting this year?
Average-wise?
Yeah. Is he hitting
That's
over
like
345?
245.
Okay. So no threat here. I just thought he was having a good year, so maybe he had a Mike Junino type season, but I think he's okay. That season, he was named to the National League All-Star team, first of 3 consecutive All-Star appearances for Babe. While he thrived offensively, his defense is a little bit more sus. During one game that the Dodgers lost in the 9th, his manager, Casey Stengel, ding ding, asked Phelps why he'd called for a fastball from knuckleballer Dutch Leonard. If you're still able to stand if you're actually playing this game already, I'm impressed.
Maybe we should do like a bathroom break if someone needs to throw up.
This isn't a live show. You can just pause.
Or as I like to say, dialing Europe on the big white phone.
Okay, I can't say I've ever heard that one before, but Phelps' reply when Casey asked, "Why'd you call for a fastball from our knuckleballer?" He said, quote, "His knuckleball's tough to catch."
That's awesome.
Casey, of course, said, "If a knuckler is hard to catch, don't you think it might be hard to hit too?" But Babe wasn't having any of it. Another nickname that he gained was Blimp.
Okay.
This nickname took off. There's another one of those puns. Love them. Around 1938, he had just turned 30, and he started to need a couple extra notches in his belt to keep his pants up. His weight was going up, his batting average was going the other way, and he never saw 300 again. When the legendary Babe Ruth joined the Dodgers as a coach in the same year, 1938, Phelps' youngest daughter, Janet, was asked by Babe, "Hey, who's the greatest baseball player?" And I think he was probably fishing for her to say Babe.
Probably.
Dad and Babe Ruth. But instead, she said, "My daddy." Cute answer, but you might want to fact check you. Come on, Janet.
Yes. Doggone it.
Come on, Janet.
Make a better guess than that.
Yeah. The two babes got along well, though, and would sometimes room together on the road, which was odd because Phelps went through roommates like Hogwarts would go through Defense Against Dark Art professors for all our Harry Potter heads, our potheads out there. During spring training one year, he roomed with Pee Wee Reese. Ding, ding. On the first day he's rooming with Reese, Phelps opens the door to find that Reese had moved all of the furniture to the front of the window in the room. And he says, "What is this, like some feng shui kind of thing, or what's going on here?" Reese says that he sometimes has nightmares and he didn't want to fall out the window. So Today we learned Pee Wee Reese apparently walked in his sleep. That's all I can guess. Phelps also recalls finding Pee Wee under the bed after a particularly frightening nightmare one time. So maybe he just gets scared and jumps up, and if he's near a window, he might run through it.
Yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah. If this was the only roommate story, fine, that's great. It's a nice little addition. But wait, there's more. In fact, there's a lot more. Phelps liked his rest, and he preferred a quiet environment, often turning in much earlier than everybody else. He told his manager, Leo DeRocher, "Hey, I can't room with Max Butcher, who you've signed me up here, because Butcher stays up late drinking, so he's off the list." Another roommate, Tom Zachary. Tom Zachary, by the way, the pitcher who gave up Babe Ruth's 60th home run. But he had a unique way of hiding his wallet every night, which I guess is a thing that was something you do at that point in a hotel. I don't know. He would turn the lights out, and then he would toss his wallet in the air. And his reasoning was, quote, "If I don't know where it is, how's a robber going to know?" End quote. How many robbers are sneaking into a hotel room with two people in it?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a few.
These are the kind of robbers that would wear that mask where it just goes around their eye. It's a black, like, handkerchief, but with two eye holes cut out, probably. That's
probably
like the Hamburglar type of thing. Maybe the Hamburglar was the one stealing the wallets. We don't know. But eventually, it became so hard to find a roommate that Phelps didn't complain about that he was just given his own room while on the road. Maybe that was the ploy all along. That's pretty smart, actually. Phelps also had strong opinions about travel. On the road, he preferred trains and spent hours playing bridge on trains. He enjoyed that ride. He never played poker, though. He was clean living. 1940, Dodgers GM Larry McPhail started to use air travel, get a plane. After a rough 3-hour flight to Chicago, he sat next to his manager, Leo DeRocher, and Phelps swore he'd never fly again, and he took the train home while the rest of the team flew. This earned him the new nickname, the Grounded Blimp.
Wow.
Baseball players are very clever sometimes, I'm not going to lie. 1941, the Dodgers planned to travel to Cuba. There's no train that goes to Cuba, so they were trying to decide if they wanted to go by plane or by boat. Phelps found the idea, quote, unthinkable, end quote. either air or boat. He was not going to do it. And he just up and left spring training entirely. He eventually even skipped a key train ride. This is a train ride, but out west, citing health and heart concerns. He was a bit of a hypochondriac, especially late in his career. The Dodgers had it enough. They suspended him, fined him, and then eventually traded him. 1942, so after the 41 season, they trade him to the Pirates for Archie Vaughan. Shot.
Another shot?
That was his last season in the majors. After the season, Pittsburgh traded his rights to Philadelphia for Babe Dahlgren, who we've already mentioned. We've talked about how Lefty and Red are the all-time most common nicknames in baseball, along with Dutch and Doc. Babe has got to be up there, too. There's a lot of Babes.
There's a lot of Babes in baseball.
Yeah. Nicknames today are a little bit more, they seem to be more unique. Like you don't get nicknames today that are shared with a lot of people except for Pudge. This weekend, though, is Players Weekend. So check jerseys and see how many nicknames are the same. I'm guessing not a lot. But also, to be fair, Big Dumper Dahlgren doesn't have the same ring as like Babe Dahlgren.
No, not quite. It doesn't roll off the tongue like that.
Kind of Dumper and Big Dumper Dahlgren.
Dumper Dahlgren.
It does have its own vibe that I'm kind of digging. I'm not going to lie. After baseball, Phelps went back home to Odenton, Maryland. And there, for the rest of his days, he worked for the railroad. He helped in the war effort as a dispatcher at Fort Meade. And eventually, Babe Phelps died in 1984 at the age of 76. But I had never heard of Babe Phelps until last Wednesday.
And now he's got
his own show. He's totally two-strike noise material.
Oh, yeah, big time.
I mean, he's a catcher. He's a big catcher. He's got a sense of humor. He's right up there. I mean, he's kind of our jam right there.
I think anybody nicknamed the Grounded Blimp needs a show.
So it said that he didn't mind the Blimp nickname. I'm wondering how he felt about the Grounded Blimp. He probably thought it was pretty funny, too, if he's...
I wouldn't be happy if I was nicknamed the Blimp.
No, I wouldn't.
Grounded or not.
I wouldn't either. But he seemed to be a pretty chill guy. All right, that'll do it for the main segment of the show. Mark, it is time. We said last week that we were going to get the new season underway, and we are. We've got a couple of new rules. We've got fanfare. There's bunting all over my office here, which is really weird. I don't know who put it up. I don't know where it came from. And the fact that my office is covered in bunting is strange, to say the least. I do see there in the Ray Quinones studio, you have got a pink carpet rolled out.
Yeah, I can't afford a real decorator, so I just roll in whatever the local stores throw out.
Well, I was going to say a pink carpet. And if you're not a Mariner fan, you probably don't get the reference, but it's T-Mobile, and they have an opening day when
it's fuchsia, man. It's fuchsia.
I'm sorry. When the Mariners do opening day, they always have from center field, the players are introduced and they come out on this big, long fuchsia carpet. And
That's
Mark
right.
apparently was able to snag some of it. But before we get any further into it, let's go ahead and play the theme.
Gonna pull the wax back hero. Gold stars in his eyes. Hero. On a podcast tonight.
All right, Mark, there's an asterisk by your last championship. So we're not going to talk about it. We'll just kind of pretend that it's been vacated, but I think we're ready to start a new season. We do have some new rules, a little bit of a format change. So let's go over that. First of all, what we are going to do, we're going to open up some baseball cards, typically wax packs from, we haven't decided on the year yet. We'll come up with that here in a minute. What we're going to do, we're going to play old-fashioned war with baseball cards and with Baseball Reference War. What we're going to do, we're each going to have a card, and we're going to compare that player's WAR total from the year of the pack, and whoever has the highest WAR total wins that round. We're going to shorten our games a little bit this year. We're just going to go first one to 3, or I guess best of 5. How about that sounds better? Best of 5.
Best of 5.
Best of 5.
Yes.
So first 1 to 3. You get the, as I said, the Baseball Reference War of the Year of the Pack, but you can add and subtract to that. We've got the usual stuff. Mark and I will make judgment on 80s baseball aesthetics, is what we call them. Real stirrups, glasses, mustaches, all that. We can hand out bonus. We can also hand out minuses for things like 2-in-1 stirrups. We don't like that. Any awards won that year, you get a half a point for each of them. Hall of Famer on the card, whether it's their card or not, that's a point. Ricky Henderson or Nolan Ryan shows up. Doesn't matter who throws it down. Ricky shows up, I walk away with that win. Nolan Ryan shows up, Mark walks away with that win. Pop culture references, we can easily find a half a point unless they appeared on Seinfeld, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, or The Simpsons. That's a whole point for each. If they were suspended for anything during their career, that is a minus a half a point. If they led the league in any category, you will get a plus a tenth of a point for each and minus a tenth of a point if it's things like grounded into double play, or if you're a pitcher and you're throwing wild pitches, that kind of stuff. If the player had a Kostakos Brothers poster made of them, that is going to be, that's a half a point, you want to say? I don't think.
Yeah, that
gotta
works.
write it down, otherwise I will forget. All right, so that'll be plus half a point for a Kostakos Brother poster. And what we call the dental list. This is the DNTAL list. If we pull a player that is on our Do Not Talk About list, that is a -1. Mark, what year card do you want to open today? We got
81.
Oh, okay. We're going way back. Let's do it. Here we go. Your first card is somebody I know definitely more as a manager than a player, but it is Toby Harrah.
Are we doing tops?
Yeah, I'm sorry. These are tops 81. Toby Harrah here with the Cleveland franchise. He's got a mustache. It looks like it's in Yankee Stadium, old Yankee Stadium. That's the only thing. Pullover jerseys are great, but they're all going to have pullover jerseys. So I will give you a tenth of a point for that mustache. Let's see. Toby Harrah, overall 17 years in the big leagues. 11 with Texas, 5 with Cleveland, 1 with the Yankees. In 1981, let's see, appeared in 103 games, hit 291, 382 on base. This isn't too bad. 388 slugging. There's where you get you. No power, but a 124 OPS plus, 5 home runs, 44 ribs, 12 stolen bases. That's good. And a WAR of 2.0 for Toby Harrah.
Okay.
He was a really solid shortstop, third baseman. WAR totals, 7.1, 5.7, 4.4, 6.6. Career, 264 hitter, 365 on base isn't too bad. He didn't have any power.
No, that's not bad.
But he can steal some bases, and yeah, that's surprising to me.
The Senator, their very last year in
Drafted
Washington.
by the Senators. Traded to Cleveland for Buddy Bell. Then he was traded for Otis Nixon. Yeah.
Weird.
Wouldn't put the two of them in the same. I wouldn't have thought that their careers would have intersected, but they did. He only managed the Rangers for 1 year, and not even a whole year. But that's where I remember him as. That's weird, but I'm also kind of an idiot. Let's see. Does he have a Kostakos Brothers poster?
No, he does not.
That doesn't surprise me.
But this is interesting. In 77, he and teammate Bump Willis, not Bump Bailey, but Bump Willis, hit back-to-back inside the park home runs.
Wow.
When's the last time you saw that
I was
happen?
just going to say, is that the only time that has happened?
I have no idea, but that's insane.
Yeah.
Too funny.
I don't see anything else here that's going to help him, though. But I wouldn't have expected a 2.1 from Toby Harrah. So
yeah, no, not bad at all.
That isn't too shabby.
He was a first base coach for the Rangers under Bobby Valentine, another show favorite.
There you go. Maybe that's right. I don't know. All right, this is a guy I've never heard of. From the San Francisco Giants, Tom Griffin. Not Peter Griffin, Tom Griffin.
Yes.
I mean, I dig the jersey that he's wearing. It's pullover, but I dig this Giants jersey. And this is taken in candlestick, too. It's a good-looking card. Nothing on it, though, is going to help me. Overall, Tom Griffin played for 14 years. Overall, 8 for Houston, 3 for the Giants, 2 for San Diego, and then 1 apiece for the Angels and the Bucks. 1981, he went 8-8 with a 3.76 ERA. I mean, that's not too bad. It was a starter. Started 22 games, had 3 complete games, 1 shutout, only 129 and a third innings. Not a lot. Led the league in hit by pitches, so there's a minus 10th of a point for me. And yeah, he only had a 0.6 WAR anyway for this year. So unless he has a lot of pop culture, I don't think he's going to do it. First round draft pick.
I'm not seeing any.
No Kostakis brother poster? No.
No, it's oddly enough.
First round draft pick, 4th overall by the Astros in 1966. That did not pan out. He always actually got a pretty long Wikipedia page. You can always tell when somebody's mom or wife is... Oh,
That's
boy,
right.
But everything written here says citation needed. Like they wrote the whole thing but didn't cite anything.
Yeah.
All right, that is an easy win for you. By the way, I was doing research on Champ Summers because I want to do an episode on him because he cost me the championship last year. We just had the anniversary of that Padres and Atlanta brawl. The one just kept going off. Champ Summers was ejected in that, but came out during one of the other brawls and was like squaring up with somebody one-on-one. And just Champ. I mean, he got the nickname because his father said he was tough, so I don't want to mess with him. Although I will, because he cost me everything. Let's see. You have got, for your next card, you have got Ed Glynn. Glynn, Glynn, pitcher for the Mets. He has got a mustache, so that's going to get you a 10th of a point right off the bat. Nothing else, though, there is going to help you. Let's see. Ed Glynn, the Flushing Flash. Oh, he's from...
Right on.
He's from Fresh Meadows, New York. I don't know where that is.
A very similar nickname is to executive producer Mitch, known as the Flashing Flush.
I don't either, but it sounds derogatory, so we're going to run with it.
There you go. Exactly. It sounds
the Flushing Flash. Maybe he's a pitcher, so not speedy. Maybe he just had a good fastball. I don't know. 10 years in the big leagues, 4 with Detroit, 3 with Cleveland, 2 with Montreal. 2 with the Mets, 1 with Montreal. In 1981 in Cleveland, no record. He only appeared in 4 games, a 1.17 ERA, but only 7 2/3 innings, 5 hits allowed, ERA plus of 3.29, but a WAR of 0.3. Just, he did not pitch.
Again, positive.
Yeah. You got to appreciate that, at least.
Glynn actually sold hot dogs at Shea Stadium during Mets games in the late 60s.
Oh, nice.
And then he later played for the Mets.
How cool is that? I like that. That's a great,
that's cool
tidbit there. I'm going to assume, but I you know what happens when you assume that he does not have a Kostakis brother poster.
I'm looking and looking. I really expected it, but I don't see one.
I think they missed out there. They could, because with that nickname, they really could have had an interesting poster. The Flushing Flash. The flat.
Yes,
yeah, I can't even remember how to say it.
Lots to go with Flushing.
All right, so you got a 0.4, and I have got with the Atlanta franchise. Now, I know there's going to be no power numbers here, at least. I have got Rafael Ramirez. Not Rafael Belliard. Not that bad, but Rafael Ramirez.
Rafael Ramirez, 13 years in the big leagues, 8 with Atlanta, 5 with Houston. In 1981, he hit 218, a 276, yikes, on base, a 303 slugging for a 63 OPS plus. He never had 100 or higher OPS plus. He had a 97 in 1988, where his on base almost reached 300. That was as close as it got. Let's see. 2 home runs, which is 2 more than I would have expected. 20 RBI, 7 stolen bases, and a .5 WAR. So as long as I don't get any minuses here, I'm going to win this round.
Yeah, I don't see any minuses.
Yeah, I feel pretty safe here. Not much on his Wikipedia page. I'm going to take it. All right.
I think you're good.
1-1. All right, here we go. Your next card is one of his teammates, apparently, Rick Matula. Rick Matula has got some lettuce coming out of the top of his jersey, but that's it. That's not really going to help you. He's got some eyebrows that are very similar to mine, and he looks like he had a late night. Like he just rolled out of bed and is, forgot they were going to take my picture today. Let's see here. 3 years in the big leagues, all of it with Atlanta. His final year was 1981. 5 games, no record, 6.43 ERA. 7 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed. Did not strike out anybody. A 59 ERA plus and a -0.1. You're lucky it's only a -0.1, but he just
I am
didn't
very
appear a whole heck of a lot.
I think they go into each and every game.
Yeah,
pitched in.
every appearance. So that's gonna be a -0.1 for you. Breaks your streak of.
You're hoping for a manager card.
Yeah, I'll take a manager card at this point. No, oh no, but I'm gonna get a suspension here with the Royals. Willie Wilson. This is a good looking card. Definitely spring training. He's got I'm only gonna get facial hair, but. He's really choking up on that bat, but I'll take the facial hair at least for 1/10 of a point. Let's see. Willie Wilson, overall 19 years in the big leagues, 15 with Kansas City, 2 with the Oakland Athletics, and 2 with the Cubs in 1981. Let's see. Hit .303, 335 on base, 364 slug for a 104 OPS plus. Not a lot of home runs. 1 home run. You don't expect that from Willie Wilson. 32 RBI, 34 stolen bases, and a 4.1 WAR. So that'll take me up to 4.2 before we get into anything that might be a minus.
Let's see.
First round draft pick, 18th overall in 1974.
Did he lead the league in at-bats or hits?
Not that year, no. All right, so 84, he and teammates Willie Atkins, Vida Blue, and Jerry Martin all pleaded guilty to drug misdemeanor charges, attempting to purchase cocaine. They served jail time, 81 days in a Texas Correctional Institute, then suspended for the entire 84 season, but it was reduced by Bowie Kuhn, and he was able to return after a month and a half. But that is a minus. But it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Because Willie Wilson still beats your guy, whatever his name was.
For sure.
All right. I'm up 2-1.
Oh.
I'm hoping for something good here. All right. You have got a Montreal Expo. You have got Chris Spire. Nice. Let's see here. So you're going to get some points here from this card. He's got a mustache and he's got a batting helmet sans ear flaps.
Nice.
He's kind of got a deer in the headlights look. He's got some baby blue eyes, though. I'm not going to lie. They're like tractor beams drawing me in.
Okay.
Let's see. Chris Spire played a long time, 19 years. He debuted in 1971 and retired in 1989. That's a lot of baseball. 10 with the Giants, 8 with the Expos, 2 with the Cubs, and then St. Louis and Minnesota for parts of a season. 1981 with Montreal, he hit .225, 310 on base, a .290 slug, 71 OPS plus, 2 home runs, 25 RBI, and another -0.1 WAR. Sure, guy in a row there for -0.1, but he's got his card is at least helping you out. First round draft pick, 2nd overall by the Giants in 1970. Traded at one point for Tim Foley. I think it's Foley. He came up in our stream today.
Tim Foley, yeah.
Nothing else, though, that's going to help you there. He's coached a lot. Oh, a local guy from Alameda.
Oh, there you go.
Also the hometown of Willie Stargell, who we mentioned earlier today in the stream. Dontrell Willis and Jimmy Rollins.
I was watching, and don't ask why, but I was watching a episode of Three's Company, and Chrissy referred to baseball player Willie Star Trek, which I thought was pretty amusing.
First of all, don't ever apologize for watching an episode of Three's Company. Maybe Three's a Crowd you can apologize for, although that was my first crush, was the blonde.
Vicky?
What was her name?
The Vicky character?
Vicky, was that? Yeah, that was her name. That was my very first crush.
Okay.
Her and Linda Carter, who I
Linda
still
Carter,
have a crush
that's my girl right there. I don't know how we got
I don't know either, but
thing,
I'm not going to complain if we're talking about Linda Carter.
Oh, man. The ultimate
Thirst
one.
trap alert. Spire is the father of reliever Justin Spire and the uncle of Gabe Spire.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see there. So overall, that's 0.1 for you. So
Okay.
it's beatable, and I just need one more here for a win. I have got, with the California Angels, I have got Bobby Grich. His mustache alone is going to beat you. He has got a 0.2 of a point mustache. Not as good as his 80 mustache, but it is still a 0.2 of a pointer right there. Let's see what else we got here. Overall, 17 years in the big leagues, 10 with the Angels, 7 with the Orioles. Member of the Baltimore World Series team in 1970, a 6-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves, and a Silver Slugger. 1981 with California. He led the league in home runs, slugging, OPS plus, and I mean, are we just doing anything here that's on Baseball Reference?
I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm just looking for future because he's got RBAT plus. He also led the league in.
Okay.
Clearly, this is gonna. Bobby Grich is gonna clinch it. He's gonna Grinch it for me. First round draft pick, 19th overall by Baltimore in 1967. Member of the first inductee into the California Angels Hall of Fame. Does that transfer over to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Hall of Fame?
I imagine so, but it depends on if anybody loaded it into the truck and drove it over.
You think they changed locations for the Hall of Fame?
No, just where the plaque was located, I'm sure.
See,
with the bullpen card.
Major League Baseball historian John Thorne has said that Grich is the one player deserving reconsideration for the Hall of Fame.
He did have some pretty impressive career numbers.
Yeah, he did. Let's see here. Hit 266 over 17 seasons, 320 doubles, 224 home runs, 864 RBI. If I'm being honest here, I don't know what he was like defensively, but yeah, he's not.
No, I don't think he belongs in the Hall of Fame, but he did have some good numbers.
Yeah, he was a good player. Very good player.
He really was.
I think he's one of those Hall of Very Good guys. But the best news out of all of this is that that'll give me the win.
Yeah, big W here.
I'll take it. 1-0. Closing the books. All right, so there we go. Here's our first installment of a new season of Wax Pack Heroes. That's going to wrap it up, though. Also going to wrap up the episode. Thank you very much for joining us, making it this far, putting up with us. If you want more of us, you can look in the show notes. All of our links are there for socials, or you can Google us. That is 2 Strike Noise, TWO Strike Noise. Don't forget, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock, West Coast time. We've had several listeners popping in, saying hi. I appreciate it. It gives me somebody to talk to in the morning. The dogs don't respond. They just look at me. But if you want to join us, Twitch or YouTube. Also, there is a email address that has been filled to the rim recently, Mark.
Oh, man, can't keep up, but that's okay. Keep sending. You can write to us at 2 Strike Noise. That's TWO Strike Noise @gmail.com.
Why, Mark, are people sending us things to autograph, but they're not including self-addressed stamp envelopes? They expect us to pay for that?
No, I think there's for us to autograph and then hang in our own offices.
Okay. So whatever they send, we get to keep. Done.
That's right. That's what I'm treating it as.
All right, there's a Babe Ruth ball here that somebody wanted me to sign right underneath him.
They trying to completely ruin the value, or what's the reason?
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will see you again on another episode of Two Strike Noise.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day, y'all.